Alright, so let's make the animation a little bit more natural looking. Okay, so when we're doing all these rotating, you can see the arm doesn't really change at all, right? That's not going to be very natural looking. So when you're looking that way, like 60 frame over there, you kind of want the arm to also changes down the way. Okay. So I'm going to go to the extreme and make the arm rotate forward. Okay. And you know, go this way a little bit more so that the arm is reaching out when we're doing that. Okay. And the other arm will go the other way. Alright, and meanwhile we can also make the lower arm and even the hand to do a little bit of that. Okay, so this guy will be rotating this way, and this guy will be rotating the other way also, this way also. Right, and again they're going to be automatically done. Right, so that's that, and then 120 frame later on. Okay, and these guys will go the other direction. So it'll be easier to actually grab these guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those ones we just rotated. Mouse click on 120 and then select all the rotations and key selected. That way we're just getting to the normal pose there. So we started with that, right? So the arm reaches out towards also the extreme of that particular pose, and go back here to the other direction. We can then tell the arm to also go towards the other direction. Okay, so there, and then there. Okay, and same thing for this guy. Go this way, and this way, and also that. Just a little bit. Okay. Now eventually, let's grab all 6. Oh, actually, we don't have to, because they should have a keyframe at the very end, or maybe they don't. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna grab everything here. Right, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. I'm holding down Shift to add select. Again, just go here to frame 1 and mouse drag them to frame 180. Grab everything and key select it. So that way they're going back to normal. Okay, so we have this and that. So like you can see the arm is also doing that. Okay. Okay. But now we want to add something called overlapping action, because they're doing the same stage all happening at the same time, but you know that in reality, like the hands or the arm are following through, right? They're not exactly hitting the extreme when the body is. So we can shift the animation of these things to make them happening a little bit later. So the thing I'm going to shift will be, let's do the arm first, right? So those 2 upper arm and that. And that, those 3, I want to shift them over. To do that, I can go to the window and then general editor, and there are actually animation editors. There is a graph editor. Okay, this is also called the spaghetti box because it's looking like spaghettis. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna grab that, and that, and that, and that. Right, those six objects, and I'm gonna zoom out. The middle mouse button, Alt and middle mouse button is how you panning, and right mouse button is how you zoom. You cannot rotate. So I'm gonna grab all these things and hit W, and holding down Shift and drag it towards the right, the right side. Okay, I'm gonna go a few frames later. Maybe do like 15 frame. Okay, I can see the value here. So it's 15 frames shifted. So before they were there, right? I can shift Z to go back. Okay, you can see that's where they are now. 50 frame later, and then I'm gonna grab these two and shift them even more, and also these two. Okay, and so that's gonna be somewhere like 30. Oops. So let me grab everything here and shifting them to frame 30. Okay, and then eventually the hands will shift to something like frame 45. So it's a lot of overlapping for the hands. So the hands will happen, the animation will be later than the others. Okay, so one more thing we can do is I can select this thing, everything here, and go select the hierarchy again. And then you can see the shifting I'm having, right? 1, 2, 3. And one more thing I want to do is go to the curve and pre-infinity cycle, post-infinity cycle to fill in those empty areas. So they're cycling through this animation. Okay. Alright. Now if I go ahead and play this animation, you can see now we have this slightly overlapping animation. It feels more fluid because of the timing shifting. Here you can see it's really like they're basically following the energy of the actual rotation of the span. Right. Now we can just do the same thing for the head. So let me pause this animation here. What I do here is grab the head and grab everything here. We're gonna shift it also somewhere around, like, I don't know, 20, 25. It's all up to you now to shift that part to whatever degree you want it to be. Okay. And then let's try to play this animation. You can see the head will also have a little bit follow through. I mean, that looks like he's really trying to look around, right, in a more natural way, right? That's just a very simple animation. I'm sure there are a lot of things we can refine it, but I'm not a professional animator, so this is just how much we can do right for now. Ideally, we will be also rotating the hip, but it's really hard to do because we don't have a rig set up, so that we want to lock the foot on the ground. It's going to be super difficult, so we cannot really do that very easily, and that's why we're not doing that. Anyway, so let's say this is good. I'm going to pause the animation, go back to frame 0, right? I'm going to select this entire thing. Oh, actually not the entire thing, just the joints, because we have the model already. We need the joint to carry the animation, but nothing else. So grab this joint, go for File, Export, Selection. Okay, and I'm going to use the format, FBX format, the format we imported in, right? Let me paste in, no, not there actually. Let me just find that location again where I export my stuff. Gonna be here, right? And back to Maya, and paste in that location. And I'm gonna override this one I have created earlier. So checking around and export selection and hit yes. All right. So now we have this animation exported. Oh, some of the settings I kind of wanted to be specific here. The settings for the FBX is you wanna use animation, you want to bake the animation. Okay, that's the important thing. Other than that, you just keep everything else as default. Okay, because all we care about is the animation, just export selection. Okay, let's replace that. Now back here to Unreal Engine, we can then look for that particular animation. So let me paste that in. Okay, and I'm going to drag my mannequin checking around animation back into Unreal Engine, and I'm going to specify the skeleton is already recognized nicely. Make sure that you have animation here and import all. Okay, now we have this animation called checking. I can double click to open that. Oops, let me drag this over here. See, that's the animation we did, right? Okay. I can already see one thing I can enhance, but let's just not bother doing animation. One thing I can enhance is that the arm should be having like a anticipation. So when you rotate the body forward, this arm should stay there for a little longer, or even going backwards a little bit before it goes forward. Okay, but this is fun, right? We don't really need to create a super good animation for this part. Just need something to work with. Alright, now we have an animation. Let's move on to the next video, and we can talk about how we can use this animation as a montage to actually make the AI look around. Okay, see you next time.